Yes, thanks for joining us here on the Bardstown Weather Center here this evening. As we're glad to join you as we're giving you the latest 5 p.m. Eastern Time advisory on Tropical Storm Barry here. As you can see the center of it right here. Here, this orangish color thing here is the wind field here, the tropical storm force winds. And you can see the path of it takes it up. It is forecasted to barely become a hurricane by the time it makes landfall. Okay, here's the 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time advisory. Hurricane warning issued for portions of Louisiana coast. Dangerous storm surge, heavy rains, and windy conditions expected across north central Gulf Coast. Summary as of 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 21 UTC. Location 27.8 north, 89.3 west. About 90 miles or 145 kilometers south of the mouth of the Mississippi River. About 175 miles or 280 kilometers southeast of Morgan City, Louisiana. Maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, that's 65 kilometers an hour. Present movement west or 275 degrees at 5 miles per hour or 7 kilometers an hour. Minimum central pressure 1003 millibars or 29.62 inches. Watches and warnings. Changes with this advisory. A hurricane warning is now in effect for the coast of Louisiana from the intercoastal city to Grand Isle. A tropical storm warning is now in effect for Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Maurepas, including metropolitan New Orleans. A tropical storm warning is now in effect for the Louisiana coast west of the intercoastal city to Carmen. A storm surge watch is in effect for Lake Pontchartrain. Summary of watches and warnings in effect. A hurricane warning is in effect for intercoastal city to Grand Isle. A tropical storm warning is in effect for much of the Pearl River to Grand Isle, Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Maurepas, including metropolitan New Orleans, intercoastal city to Carmen. A storm surge warning is in effect for the mouth of the Apofolia River to Shell Beach. A storm surge watch is in effect for Small Beach to the Mississippi-Alabama border, that's Shell Beach. Mouth of the Apofolia River to intercoastal city and Lake Pontchartrain. A hurricane watch is in effect for the mouth of the Mississippi River to Grand Isle, intercoastal city to Carmen. A tropical storm watch is in effect for east of the mouth of the Pearl River to the Mississippi-Alabama border. A hurricane warning means that hurricane conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area. A warning is typically issued 36 hours before the anticipated first occurrence of tropical storm force winds. Conditions that make outdoor preparation difficult or dangerous. Preparation to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. A tropical storm warning means that tropical storm conditions are expected somewhere within the warning area within 36 hours. A storm surge warning means there's a danger of life-threatening inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline during the next 36 hours in the indicated locations. For a description of areas at risk, please see the National Weather Service Storm Surge Watch Warning graphic available at hurricanes.gov. This is a life-threatening situation. Persons located within these areas should take all necessary action to protect life and property from rising water and the potential for other dangerous conditions. Promptly follow evacuation and other instructions from local officials. A storm surge watch means there's a possibility of life-threatening inundation from rising water moving inland from the coastline in the indicated locations during the next 48 hours. A hurricane watch means that hurricane conditions are possible within the watch area. Watch is typically issued 48 hours before the anticipated first occurrence of tropical storm force wind conditions that make outdoor preparations difficult or dangerous. A tropical storm watch means that tropical storm conditions are possible within the watch area, generally within 48 hours. Interest elsewhere along the Gulf Coast from the upper Texas coast to the Florida Panhandle should monitor the progress of this system. For storm information specific to your area, including possible inland watches and warnings, please monitor products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office. Discussion and outlook at 4 p.m. Central Time, at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2100 UTC. The center of Tropical Storm Barry was located near latitude 27.8 north, longitude 89.3 west. Barry is moving toward the west near 5 miles an hour or 7 kilometers an hour, and this motion is expected to continue tonight. A turn toward the northwest is expected on Friday, followed by a turn toward the north on Saturday. On the forecast track, the center of Barry will be near or over the central or southeastern coast of Louisiana Friday night or Saturday, and then move inland into the lower Mississippi Valley on Sunday. Maximum sustained winds are near 40 miles per hour or 65 kilometers an hour, with higher gusts. Strengthening is expected during the next day or two, and Barry could become a hurricane late Friday or early Saturday. When the center is near the Louisiana coast, weakening is expected after Barry moves inland. Tropical storm force winds extend outwards up to 140 miles or 220 kilometers from the center. An oil rig east of the mouth of the Mississippi River recently reported sustained winds of 40 miles an hour and a wind gust of 52 miles an hour at an elevation of 525 feet. The estimated minimum central pressure is 1003 millibars or 29.62 inches. Hazards affecting land. Key messages for Barry can be found in the tropical cyclone discussion under the APRIS header, Medicat 2, or the WMO header. Storm surge. The combination of dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground somewhere in the indicated areas if the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. Mouth of the Apafolia River to Shell Beach 3 to 6 feet. Shell Beach to the Mississippi-Alabama border 2 to 4 feet. Intercoastal City to the mouth of the Apafolia River 2 to 4 feet. Lake Pontchartrain 2 to 4 feet. Surge-related flooding depends on the relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle and can vary greatly over short distances. For information specific to your area, please see products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office. Rainfall. Barry is expected to produce total rain accumulations of 10 to 20 inches over southeastern Louisiana and southwestern Mississippi, with isolated maximum amounts of 25 inches. Over the remainder of the lower Mississippi Valley, total rain accumulations of 4 to 8 inches are expected, with isolated maximum amounts of 12 inches. Wind. Hurricane conditions are expected in the hurricane warning area by Friday night or Saturday morning, with tropical storm conditions expected by Friday morning. Hurricane conditions are possible within the hurricane watch area by Friday night or Saturday morning. Tropical storm conditions are expected to spread across the tropical storm warning area starting late tonight, within tropical storm conditions possible in the tropical storm watch area by Friday night and or Saturday. Tornadoes. A few tornadoes are possible Friday late morning through Friday night across southeastern Louisiana, far southern Mississippi, and the Alabama coast. The next intermediate advisory will be issued at 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have that for you. The next complete advisory is scheduled for 10 p.m. Central Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll have that for you. Thanks for joining us here this evening.